Coach, after two 1-0 results, how do you feel about getting one win out of the two matches this weekend?
I think, going down to Southern California on the road and getting a result is always positive, because it's very, very hard to get results on the road in this conference. I was reflecting on the last 4 games or so, and they're all 1-0 games, and that's how tight it is. And so we look back on the UCLA performance, and I think we probably sold ourselves short on some areas, and we were disappointed, and not to take any credit away from UCLA, but I think that we could have done a bit more to change that result. And then San Diego State, when it's a Sunday game on the road, it's a grinder. It's one of those tough games where it's almost survival at that point. And I thought our guys were just so brilliant in how they approached the game. So proud of them, and they were gritty and at times played, and then we were able to make a couple plays, and at the end of the day, it was a hard-fought 3 points. But all in all, we're pleased with the road, but I think we have more to offer.
You touched on it just at the end there, with only 2 road games remaining compared to 5 home games. Is happy the right word with how you would feel with how the schedule has set up for the Pac-12 season?
Well, yeah, I don't know if it's happy. The Pac-12 schedule is on a rotating basis, and so sometimes you end up with a bye week at certain times. So this year and last year, the bye week comes toward the end of the year, and so the bye week, I think for all teams would be perfect if it came right in the middle, and give bodies a chance to heal. But for us this year, it's 3 more weekends in a row, and that's the cards we've been dealt, and we've been planning for that. So we need to do a good job of continuing to keep our guys fresh physically and mentally, and making sure that our depth is ready to go, because it will be tested as it was this last weekend. And I'm positive that we can do both ends. It's just one of those things. If you do well with this type of schedule, it does prepare you for the NCAA tournament.
Now, you played with the cards you're dealt, but would you prefer to have the home games toward the end of the season like this?
Well, having the home games toward the end of the season really can give you some momentum if you're able to pick up some wins beforehand, especially coming to Corvallis for some of the California teams. It's maybe a bit of a challenge, because the weather could be different than what they're used to. So and always playing in front of our home fans is great, and if we have the momentum going into the last 3 games, I know our guys will be charged up to do well.
The team has played well at home, going 4-0 so far. Do you look at this weekend as the opportunity to get into the thick of the Pac-12 race?
Yeah, this is a very good time to do it. The Pac-12 race is relatively young and relatively still tight. So for us, it's a great opportunity to continue our homestand form that has been pretty good, and really put the focus on Stanford Friday, and put our best foot forward, played to the standard we're creating for ourselves, and then move on to the Sunday game. Win or lose or tie on Friday, Sunday's going to happen. And one of the things we talked about this last weekend is, on that Saturday, you have to push that reset button, because it's going to happen no matter what. And so that's the, reflecting back on this last weekend, I was so proud of our guys for being able to do that, because they were so disappointed in themselves on Friday night. And I thought they did a tremendous job of regrouping and then hitting that reset button and going after it. And that's the trick. And I think that's kind of the difficulty and the challenge that lies with playing a Friday, Sunday, is that you do have to hit the reset button and get ready for that Sunday game, which is it's a different type of game. It's a game of survival.
With 2 games in 3 days, do you find yourself planning for the Sunday game during the Friday game, or do you just go all at it to try to win Friday and you worry about Sunday on Sunday?
Yeah, I think, one game at a time, the cliche, and it's probably true to form as far as this is concerned. With the players, we're focused on that Friday game for the most part throughout the week, and because that's the most important game of the week at that time. And having said that, the coaching staff, we're scouting the Sunday opponent for sure, and in our case, the Sunday opponent's playing on Friday, and so we're taking notes and things that could be useful. But I think for us, the main thing is that we're focused on ourselves. I think we've got enough in our corner that if we do the things that we're supposed to do, regardless of who we're playing, we'll be fine. It's just that when you are scouting that Sunday opponent, you're always looking for wrinkles that might come up that you might not see otherwise, because sometimes that Friday game for the opponent could come up with any kind of scenario, like cards or people being sent off, people getting injured, so on and so forth. So for us to scout that Sunday opponent, it's more to make sure that we don't get ambushed by any surprises.
Has the lack of goal scoring lately signaled any alarms, or is it just the fact that conference play has begun and the games have tightened?
Conference play has begun, the games have tightened. The scouts on all of us are very meticulous. It's one thing about this conference that I can really appreciate, is that the scouting that we do on one another it's pretty tight. And so you get a guy like Emery Welshman that when we play, he's going to have 2-3 guys around him. That's what he found against UCLA. And so now we've got to be able to make adjustments off that while keeping a guy like Emery still dangerous, and that's happened. That used to happen to guys like Danny Mwanga and Alan Gordon and the other strikers we've had in the past, where they would get keyed on. But I think that's in any sport. And so for us, we still have to play our game. We just have to play it with a tighter margin of error. And I think if we can do that and continue to evolve, we'll be where we want to be.
Can you just give us a look into what Stanford and Cal look like coming in this weekend?
Sure. Stanford, with a new coach, they've got tremendous energy and very good belief. They're high flying. They're very much on the same page. They've picked up a couple nice results recently. And they're on many days rest. They played on the Thursday, last Thursday, and the single game, and they've been on rest ever since. So they'll be a very well-rested team, and they'll be, again, high-energy team. Cal, they're well-coached, a lot of returning players, good soccer team. They can play. They are all on the same page. And both are always just formidable opponents. But these are the type of games we look forward to playing, and it's nice to be at home, so we're looking forward to both of them.
The Stanford game starts at 7 o'clock and is really the only second true home night game. Does it help the home atmosphere at all to have a later start like that?
I think at times, you think of the simple things like, people getting off of work, and, especially if we get a good contingent from Portland, it gives them time to get down I-5 and get to the games. But yeah, it helps for sure. But I'll be honest with you, our last home game against UC Irvine, it was well attended. I was just very, very pleased with that attendance, and and Brad Townsend brings that drum line out. That's a big deal, and boy, it really makes it festive. One of the best atmospheres in the conference. So we're looking forward to being back home, and this one will be a night game Friday night. So it's always been a good night game scenario for us. So we're looking forward to that, and then we'll look forward to Cal at 1 o'clock on Sunday.